What's up YouTube, I'm just another guy and welcome back to Gibraltar United. So here we are, Genoa games, home and away. At home first. Again, nothing really to talk about. I mean, we've had a few fixtures in the league. I didn't actually talk about them last time, but we beat 2-0 Lynx and 5-0 Man 62 in between the two Europa League games we played previously. And we've drawn 0-0 very recently to Gibraltar Phoenix, which is a disappointing result. Amofa did get sent off, but still, even with 10 men, we should have had enough quality to have seen off Gibraltar Phoenix. But we didn't. For whatever reason, we couldn't get the goal. And as a result, we've drawn our first game of the season, and we won't have a 100% year. But something we do still have is we have not conceded yet in the league, which is pretty good. But yeah, we're going to this game now. Now, I do actually have a few transfers I could potentially talk about, who are going to be joining in at the very start of the transfer window. That's in December, the 28th of December or the 27th of December. I can't remember the exact date our transfer window opens. But I won't talk about them yet because they're not officially here, and they are officially here. They're officially my players come that time. But, you know, I don't feel there's any need to kind of see them right now because, well, they're not technically at our size. But, you know, when we officially get them, if we, for whatever reason, can get to a knockout stage of this competition, you know, if we can overcome the odds and actually get there, then, you know, obviously you'll get to see them in action. If not, it'll probably be the end of season update. As you can see as well, I really am scouting quite thoroughly. I've signed probably so far. So in December, the next transfer window, I think I'm signing 3 players. And then at the end of the season, we're getting my new right mid. So I'm going quite heavy on the signings. And these guys as well I'm signing, they're not on extremely large wages. They're good players. They're good players, and they should hopefully improve the side. So let's go through the starting lineup for today's match. So, in goal we have Smith. Defence we have Benitez, Perez, Amari, and Albi. Midfield we have McCourt, Edwards, Amofa, and Carlos. And then up front we have Morrisau and Austin. And then the bench is Edwards, Ibondo, Flint, Wilkinson, Morgan, Alvaro, and Miller. Alvaro and Miller both had slight knocks, just a few days before this game. Morgan is now fully recovered from that. Miller still isn't there, but is probably fit enough to maybe play the last 10 minutes of this match if I needed him to. So that's at least good. Miller should be back a bit quicker than we first anticipated, which is obviously a massive plus. Di Matteo should actually be in the starting lineup instead of Edwards. So yeah, change to that. Edwards is playing instead. But yeah, let's go into this match. I'm excited. You know, it's going to be interesting to see how we can do in this game. Hopefully we'll get a win. We do need one. And especially where, you know, how the teams are doing right now. Young boys with a defeat and a draw. If Standard Liège can beat them twice, we're going to have to get results against these guys right here, right now. So they've gone out there with a 3-4-3. Quite a interesting tactic to say the least. To me, I don't know, it depends what the midfield roles are because they may not have enough cover defensively. But then, clearly they're going out there with the intent to attack. So, let's see how we do against this. Europa Point capacity stadium as we get now in Europe. 10,000 people rocking up. And they have a free kick very early on and they rattled the crossbar and we managed to clear the rebound away. Here is Morrisau. Poor play from him. Trying to find a long ball over the top. Maybe we still have another chance here. Maybe we could build up an attack, but we'll give it away yet again. And now we're going to maybe see Genoa's attacking prowess as the person just walked through our defence pretty much there and skies the ball. Quite an aggressive start from Genoa. And they're having a lot of the ball in these first 10 minutes or so. It looks like we're trying to grow back into the game. Slowly we're growing into it by the looks of it. Had our first shot, not on target yet. Neither team with a shot on target. 18 minutes into the match. And we get the ball back, Amari. And good ball forward to Rod Austin. Rod Austin playing to Morrisau. Oh my god, I said his name completely wrong, but he missed an absolutely brilliant opportunity there. I learned how to say his name, then I forgot it before I recorded. Brilliant. And no. Missed the opportunity. From the goal kick, they go and score. It's so poor. And it's the defence. Where are the centre-backs? The centre-backs are all over the place in the build-up to that. And as a result, Person's able to get it through. And then due to the fact there's no defender, centre-back, the fullbacks come over to cover. Just no fullback being in place, they've managed to get space. And it's just a simple goal. Ah, come on, Gibraltar United. Take the chances when they come. Ah, they missed another chance. Luckily for us. Tariq Not of a particularly good free kick, and we get the ball now. Not many people back. If we can build up play quickly enough. Poor pass for Marçal. Very poor pass behind McCourt. And a poor cross from McCourt. Behind everyone again. We just can't do the simple things right now. Just encourage the lads. Come on. McCourt getting the ball back for us. Here's Austin trying to find Marçal. Finds him off. Marçal, I think he was offside. He wasn't, but he's missed another clear opportunity for us. What is wrong with the Frenchman? Can't find the back of the net right now. He's being gifted these great opportunities. Some great work from the team to find them for him, and he's just not taking them. Oh my God, Carlos, no! Yes, Rod Austin with the goal, getting us back on level terms. Marçal was again missing the opportunity, I think. I'm not too sure. Either way, then Carlos had another great opportunity. Here's Marçal with the ball originally. He was tackled, I'll give him that. Carlos was a good opportunity, but it was a very narrow angle. I think he actually hit the post, and then luckily for us, the rebound went to Austin, who managed to finish the goal. 1-1. Finally taking an opportunity. Rod Austin will be unable to finish the match with the injury, but the thing is, we only have Miller on the bench. And I'm not comfortable playing him for a full, not even a full 45. I'm not happy doing that. So I'm actually going to check. You can't finish, Alvaro. Sad to say that. How would McCourt be doing? Again, maybe Amofa can actually play up front for us. If I were to play you as an advanced forward, how would you do in that role? Not bad. We'll go with that, actually. We won't actually bring you on. We will instead, I think we'll bring Morgan on, and we'll put Di Matteo in a more advancing role. So, only one striker on the pitch. I mean, if Amofa doesn't have a good game, we will, of course, bring Miller on, probably with 25 minutes to go. Obviously, not as much as I originally wanted to play him. But, due to circumstances, I think Miller will come on a little bit earlier. But still 1-1. Yet again in Europa League, we find ourselves in this situation at 1-1. But this time we need to show enough quality going forward to actually get the second. As Amari, good interception. If he didn't get the ball there, they would have gone through on goal. Carlos trying to find Marçal, unable to. No, building up play. They've got a lot of white shirts forward. They get it through and Marcelo scores for Genoa, giving them a 2-1 lead. Come on, team. Alright, highlight. Trying to find it would have been a decent ball forward if it had found its intended target from us. But now look at that. So many white shirts forward. Marcelo, Morgan's unable to get the ball. And now Person's gone through and they made it 3-1. And it is surely game over. We're definitely not going to do anything now. Both midfielders apparently having poor games. I'm not even going to make a sub. I'm not going to bring Miller on in this match now. I don't want to bother wasting him, tiring him out in a performance which isn't going to really affect us. Carlos with the ball forward, trying to find Morgan, who has actually gone down injured. Morgan, who's just come back from injury, yet again will be unable to play. Keep the ball out of play, good. That's so frustrating. Gareth Edwards was actually meant to start the game, will end up featuring in these last nearly 20 minutes. Is it pause the game? No, it isn't. So frustrating. But one positive I guess we can take out of this game, even if it does end 3-1 or 4-1 or whatever the hell it's going to end, is that we've still looked pretty even against teams of a decent size, Maybe I think we still need to find that good striker. It's something we've been lacking for a while now. That really good striker that can take almost every chance that falls to him. We're still looking for that. I'd still believe the overall squad needs to improve if we want to get to a knockout stage. But we're not. I don't think we're too far off. I said the overall squad. I mean, obviously we can improve the overall quality of everyone. But I think one or two maybe choice players could get us there. But we definitely would need to improve a lot more if we want to get any further than just getting past the knockout. Getting to the knockout, I should say. Getting past the groups. But Kapoor's gone through. Good, stopping the fourth one at least. So this is going to be our first defeat in the Europa League group stage. It's actually in the Europa League this season. We've not lost so far in the Europa League. And it's to Genoa. Obviously, that's not great, losing to them. It does mean in the next match we will have to play a lot better. Young Boys did also lose their match, so in a way that's not ideal now due to the fact that we've lost this match. But we're going to have to get a result definitely in the next match if we want to find ourselves at least with a chance going into the last 2 games of going through. So I'll meet you back in a moment for that game. Returning to Italy for the first time since our AC Milan defeat here in Genoa. Let's go for this, really. We've got to try and get a result, ideally a win. I've got to actually sort out the team because I haven't changed it since the last league draw, which we drew 1-1 with Lincoln Gibraltar, conceding our first domestic goal of the season. I don't think I mentioned last time how long Dan Morgan was out for. He's actually out for 4 weeks with I think, torn calf muscle or something. I think that was the injury. Yeah, torn calf muscle. 3 to 4 months, so that's a very long time. That rules him out of probably the rest of the European campaign for us. So Carmine Di Matteo comes in his place for the centre of the park. Edwards is on the bench. You may notice as well I've put 2 strikers on the bench, Saidi and Morisao. Morisao also has been dropped to the bench. Rod Austin's now in his place as a target man. And Miller is the advanced forward, returning back to the starting lineup. Apart from that, it's the same team with the same bench. So let's go forth and try and get a result here in Luigi Ferraris. I believe that was pronounced. Young Boys still playing Stade Liège. Who's at home? Young Boys are at home today. It would be good if Stade Liège actually got a result today, a win or a draw or something, and we could get a win or a draw. Close the gap, make the difference between the top 2 and the bottom 2 a little bit closer. But of course that requires us also getting a result, getting a win. And we know that's not going to be an easy task from the previous game, but also if we'd have taken all our chances in the last match, again ignoring the fact that they didn't take all of theirs, but if we'd have taken all our chances in the last match, we could have had a decent scoreline, or at least a few more goals scored against them. And instantly trying to start off in an aggressive manner, McCourt's just unable to control the ball. But not too long later, now it's a highlight to Genoa. And Smith with a good save. Striker should have done a lot better there. He had lots of goals to aim at. Dead in the middle as well. Could have opened up his body or could have, aimed for the near post or his closer post out of the 2. Should be applying a little bit more pressure there, the team, to the defence. Shouldn't be allowing them. There you go. Shouldn't be allowed to pass them around, and we get our reward. All that took was a little bit of pressure from Miller, and the keeper couldn't deal with it. Ended up kicking it against Miller's face or arm or some sort of part of his body. It was his head, and then he saved it. It almost became a headed goal. Keeper saved the deflection off his fat head, and we managed to score. So there you go, 1-0 up, and all it was a little bit of luck, a little bit of pressure being applied in the right areas of the pitch. Now we need to try and defend our lead. Lorenzo, half decent run, but Smith was there. And was able to gather that pretty easily. Carlos, no. Smith didn't. Actually, no. Wait, we've got the ball back. Miller finding Rod Austin. A lot of space out on that right. If he could find McCourt, he does in the end somehow. And with a little bit of luck, we find ourselves 2-0 up. Now, that rhymes. I'm a poet and don't I know it. What a great way. I mean, it was a little bit of luck there. The tackle from Conti ended up falling to Austin. Silva missed the ball, and he was able to then do what he should have done first time, which was play the ball to McCourt, who himself, had a pretty decent finish by McCourt. Can't take that away from him. And actually, Miller again with the ball. Almost making it 3. Come on, Gibraltar United. Let's keep applying pressure. Let's get a third. I mean, even 2 isn't exactly safe in football these days. Anything can happen. That was a shocking pass from Amoffa. Austin did very well to keep it in. And here's McCourt trying to go for his second maybe. And just narrowly wide of the post. We are looking very threatening, and we're doing something we didn't do in the last game. That 3 in defence, I mentioned how it's very unbalanced in a way. Depending on what the midfielder roles are, of course, if the midfielders are told to get back and cover and stuff, it can be alright, it can be quite balanced. But if they're pushing all of their front 7 men forward, it can be really unbalanced, and it's looking that way right now. Our first 2 goals came from the fact they didn't really have many people back, many options covering and stuff. Especially the second goal, it sort of illustrated that, and maybe we could have got the third, due to the fact they didn't have enough defenders to cover the amount of attackers we were throwing forward. Alright, here's McCourt. To Amofa. To Miller. Bang! 3-0 Gibraltar United. Miller's 10th goal of the season. And let's have a look at the league table now. If all results were to stay the same, which is, I believe, a Young Boys getting a draw against Standard Liège, it would mean going into the last 2 games, anyone, apart from Young Boys, could finish top of the table. Young Boys do take the lead, actually. If the league table wants to update, look at that. That would be an incredible end to this league, this Group E group table league thing. Europa League group stage for Group E. Di Matteo to Amofa to Miller. It's gone through to Carlos, who on his stronger foot tried to go with the outside of the boot. Really should have gone with his right foot instead. Would have been easier to finish. And with good save as well from us. Bear in mind as well, a bit like last year in the Champions League, goal difference does come into effect in this. If people have the same amount of points, it goes to games against. Right now, we would beat Genoa on the game against rule. So I'm going to make some changes. I would like to take Di Matteo off, but we don't really have an option of a centre mid on the bench. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Amari forward, and we're going to bring Ruddy Ibondo, like we did in the past, into that centre-back role. Robbie Flint as well I haven't brought this up because I completely forgot about it until now, but Robbie Flint has moaned about his lack of games. He will be leaving either in January or in the summer, whenever I can officially get a deal complete. Genoa get one back, which should surely be nothing more than a consolation as long as we don't concede again. If we go on the games against ruling, it would go then to goal difference between us and Genoa. So against all teams in the group, which is ideally what we want to get. Maybe we could actually get a 4th. No, it's been cleared forward. And actually, Lorenzo with a pretty good chance here. Perez with a brilliant challenge, being the last man back. Really had to get it, and he did. Oh no, Smith almost... Oh my god, Smith doing the exact same thing their keeper did. Kicking it against the head of their striker. And there was no real pressure here. He could have played it short, which he's told to do. Or he could have booted it long, and he chose to boot it long, and it hit that bloke's fat head. 3-2, and it's actually looking quite dangerous now, this game. Going to make a change up front, surprisingly. We're going to bring the French guy on for Austin. But this is going to be quite a weird last few minutes of the game. And in fact, if we fall now, if we let ourselves down to the point where we give away a 3-goal advantage, we clearly won't deserve to go through. Miller, get the 4th. Get in there. We really did need to restore that 2-goal cushion. Miller with a hat-trick, and that should, as it says at the bottom, put the game beyond any reasonable doubt. We should now have 3 points in the bag. And as well, again, if it goes on the goals against rule now, we will be the ones going through because we scored 4 away goals. And there we go, 4-2 result in Italy. What a hell of a result. And all it was us taking a few chances. And Miller was the guy that helped us there. Was so important, scoring 3 goals. Can't take away from the fact Amofa and Court both had really good games as well, and Austin. But yeah, good result, and that puts us in that poises up a very, very good end to the campaign, to the Europa League groups. Look at that. Young Boys did end up drawing to Standard Liège, but it does mean that anyone's in touching distance really. Even Young Boys could still go through in second place. You couldn't deny that. So this is going to be 2 great live comms in the end, hopefully. And 160,000 coming our way. The same money we picked up for being knocked out as champions, as domestic champions from the Champions League, if that makes sense. I think that made sense, what I just said. Either way, let's have a quick look at our finances again. We find almost 11 million in the bank now. Very close to getting it. That prize money is obviously going to help massively cover any money that we'll lose this month because it's just started as well, November. But the next time I'll meet you back will be the Standard Liège match and the Young Boys match. 2 massive games, especially the first one against Standard Liège. If we can get a result there, more importantly, if we can get a win there, that should be potentially lining up a Europa League knockout situation for us. So until then, guys, peace out.